Francine. Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, you gotta be the bell ringer. Oh, well, let me have one. God help me ring the bell. Good evening, everybody. Creation Lifers, you guys are looking good. I am so excited to see your faces here and for you guys participating in all the exercises and everything. We are just having a good time and we're on our way to a life change. So I just say welcome and looking forward to the completion of this program. Everybody hanging in there and doing what we need to do so that we can be healthy in 2026. Now, do we have any first timers here today? No first timers, so we're all. Oh, I see. I can't remember your name. You came. What's her name? Olive. Olive. Welcome back, Olive. This is your second time. So we are so thankful to have you. Yeah. So just hang in there. You can make this happen. What does C stand for in creation? Choice. Help me out. R E T. Oh, A. Well, it's in there. T and I. Oh, what do you guys think about when you hear the word interpersonal relationships? Let me hear you. Denise, you're the closest to me. What do you think about when you hear interpersonal relationships?
Within, that's the first thing that comes to mind, and then just dealing with others, so just working around that. It's been a lot this week, and just relationship with others, and the first thing coming to my mind too is just serving with others. I'm learning that a lot of time, and it's not about you. A lot of times just serving, seeing how you can be of service to others, just again, relationships within yourself and with others.
What I want to say is God made us all to be together. We're not an island. So treasure the relationships you have with family, friends, your church family. Someone told me once that your church family should be even closer than your natural family, because you have choices with your church people, but your family you just kind of put in there, and you gotta figure it out. And I haven't figured it out yet, but I was thinking about that because I was trying to figure it out, and I was thinking about my sister. She never has money. When I ask her, my family's all on the West Coast. She never has money to travel to Georgia, but she's always in some foreign country. But this time she had just been on my mind, and I'm thinking and thinking. And so I decided to call last night and couldn't reach her. And then it was like, oh, I should have called. I should have, instead of being in my feelings, I should have just done what I needed to do. Found out she's in India. Yeah, she was scheduled to come back on the 3rd of March, but the Dubai airport is gone. So we're praying for her to get yeah. Wasn't it Dubai? Okay, yeah. That was her airport coming back. So anyway, I've been praying now and feeling bad for being all in my feelings. So my point is to just treasure your relationships, because tomorrow isn't promised to any of us. And we just need to let people know that we care about them and that we love them no matter what we're feeling or what we're thinking. put aside our personal feelings and reach out to someone else because we're all dealing with life. We're all hurting. We all have stuff going on. So we just need to be more loving. And I say that because I'm a part of Team Love. Let's hear it. And we ain't talking about the green team today. We're talking about Team Love. It's Team Love's in the house. Team Love is in the house. Francine, tell us what love stands for. Okay. It,
Team Love is in the house. Love, living obediently, valuing eternity. Thank you.
man, that's all about. That's what we want to do. We want to live obediently and value eternity. Yes, and we want everybody to be there with us in eternity. So we're going to start out now with our interpersonal video. We ready? Okay.
Isn't it amazing how time spent with a friend can make you happy? But researchers are becoming more and more alarmed by a certain trend. People are disconnecting from each other socially. In 1985, on average, each of us had 3 people in whom we could confide important matters. But by 2004, only 2. And today, research indicates that 25% of Americans have no one to confide in. Isn't it sad to realize that 1 out of every 4 people is socially isolated? And this social isolation is associated with a host of emotional and physical illnesses. In general, people tend to engage in destructive behaviors such as alcohol, smoking, overeating, to help cope with their loneliness. We all need friends. Because the only thing in life that really matters is our love relationship. Friends, family, even pets. Say hello to one of my buddies, Oreo. Speaking of which, to everybody, and I'm not just talking about pets, someone with whom you're close to and you confide in, someone who loves you, wants to help you. Your answer is yes, then you just may have a 5 times lower risk of you. We need friends. And today we'll sit and hear compelling research on the subject. So let's join Dr. Winnie King and discover some fascinating information on interpersonal relationships. What do you think, buddy? Oreo says.
There are people in my life who just make me smile whenever I think of them. They lift me up and make my life better. Then on the other hand, there are people who, well, you know those kind of people. It's an undeniable fact that good interpersonal relationships are life. Dr. Dean Ornish writes this about friendships. I'm not aware of any other factor in that. Not diet, not smoking, not exercise, not stress, not genetics, not drugs, not surgery that has a greater impact on our quality of life, incidence of illness, premature death from all causes. President Abraham Lincoln is known to have said, the better part of one's life consists of his friendships. And sometimes we wonder how this may be true, especially when it's cold and freezing. But consider this counterintuitive study. Volunteers were given nasal drops that contained the common cold virus, and, as you would expect, most of them were. But those who were the most friends were less likely to develop cold symptoms. Social connection and interpersonal relationships foster good health and happiness. Meeting friends equates with better health. A wise creator designed us to flourish in an environment of mutually caring relationships. believe it or not, this begins when you're still in the womb. In a review of 144 fetal studies, we concluded that social support from a partner or a family member is associated with improved fetal growth regardless of a woman's level of acute stressor. In other studies, we found that the presence of a supportive companion during labor and delivery reduced the need for cesarean section and other interventions. In fact, in the control group, which delivering mothers had a supportive companion, the duration of the delivery was only 8.7 hours compared to 19.3 hours for those who didn't have a companion. Healthy relationships are essential to healthy children as well. In looking at more than 100 studies, we've seen that the most resilient children tend to have good social skills, support from mentors or peers, connection to family, and a loving relationship with their caregiver. There's a growing body of research on interconnectedness at adolescence. In 1997, data was collected from 90,000 teens and 18,000 of their parents across the United States. They found that kids who feel connected to family, church, school, and their community are far less likely to participate in behaviors that put them at risk. Standout theme revealed in this research: as you might guess, the connectedness we experience in our young also impacts us later. Family relationships are the earliest and most influential as it relates to our health. In one study, adults were asked to decide what kind of mother and father they had. 95% of those who viewed positive birth and who also raised their parents poorly parents had disease diagnosis in life. But of the adults who viewed many positive births and who rated their parents high in parental caring, only 29% were diagnosed with midlife disease. Interpersonal relationships, a connection to others, improve our quality of life. We also see this in marriage. Many studies show that married people live longer and they have lower mortality in almost every major cause of death compared with people who are single, separated, widowed, or divorced. Wives who say their marriage is satisfying and supportive have stronger reasons. They have a higher percentage of T cells and more helper lymphocytes, as well as less depression and loneliness. One interesting study posed this question: does your wife show she loves you? Those who answered yes showed a reduced risk of angina, which is chest pain related to the narrowing of the coronary artery, even in the presence of other high risk factors. In the longest continuous study in the world on aging, we found that a warm relationship with our spouse is an excellent predictor of aging well. From before we are born and continuing throughout our life, interconnected makes stronger, healthier, active. Friendship is vital at any age. Active seniors in retirement homes who were visited 3 times a week showed increased immune function within just a month. It's the social contact that creates life-enhancing results. In a study involving female breast cancer survivors, women who participated in a weekly support lived 2 times longer than women who didn't participate. Men who were socially isolated and under high stress had more than 4 times the risk of dying from heart disease. Positive social interaction and interpersonal connections promote longevity, improve the quality of our life, make us happier. I'm sure you're getting the picture, but did you know there is healing in loving touch? People who touch and are touched enjoy the best health. And it doesn't have to be dramatic to make a positive impression. In one study, as students left a university library, they were asked how satisfied they were with the service they had received. They didn't know that the study wasn't about the quality of library service at all. It was about the effect of touch. The library clerk was instructed to touch half the students very lightly when returning their library cards to them. The students who had been touched had a much higher opinion of the service they received at the library. But it isn't just human touch that affects us positively. Believe it or not, the loving, affectionate touch of our pets impacts our health positively too. A year after having been admitted to the hospital for chest pain or a heart attack, only 6% of the pet owners had died, compared to 28% of the patients who didn't have pets. And this was independent of disease severity. Touch will heal your soul. Social connection will relax your mind. Supportive interpersonal relationships will enhance and restore your life.
God wants us to enjoy life and be happy. And we enjoy life most when we're connected and interacting with others. But positive interpersonal relationships don't just improve our lives, make life worth living. Here are 4 ways you can start improving your interpersonal relationships to enrich your life and better your health. First, simply just reach out. Most people are just as shy as we are. Do what I try to do. Push through the shyness and connect anyway. People are eager to make new friends. Many of them are just waiting for someone to make the first move, to initiate first contact. Be that person. Reach out. Trust me. It's as simple as saying, "Hi, my name is Nancy." Consider making it a goal right now to warmly greet at least one new person every day. Smile at them. Guess what? I think they'll smile back. And it'll warm your heart a little bit. Savor the moment. Next, mingle with people. Get out there and enjoy being a part of a group. Be involved with life. Be more of a participant and less of a spectator. Interact, connect, and remember, go have fun with your friends. The third one is volunteer. Volunteers report experiencing what they call a helper's high. It makes them feel good. And lastly, accept people unconditionally, just as we want to be accepted. Embrace them. Love them without an agenda. Life is tough enough. Just be their friend. Be grateful for their companionship and never take them for granted, because life becomes joyful, meaningful, and thoroughly satisfying when we share it. That's creation health.
What comments am I hearing from the video? Or maybe y'all were just commenting about other stuff. But you made it, Michelle. Welcome. This is my second favorite letter to focus on and from the Creation Like acronym. The first one is choice. And I can only use that word with other people, not Cheryl. I can't use that word. But but what I learned was we all have our own personal love language. How many of you guys are familiar with the 5 love languages, or do you know what your love language is? Okay. Yeah. Deidre, what's your love language? Words of affirmation. And I had to learn that about my best friend in Georgia, words of affirmation. And it was very important to her. But until I realized that, I was loving her the wrong way. I thought I was telling her, because I was telling her about her choices, I thought I was showing her love, and I wasn't. So I had to learn that. And a lot of times we think that we are loving on people, and they're not receiving it, and they're not receiving it because that's not their love language. And I want everybody in here to know what mine is. Who would, if you guys had to make a guess, what would it be? What would it be, to? What's it? What, Mama Sally? What is mine? No. Stacy got it right. Quality time. Yeah. just time. So, but it's very important, our words, especially for someone, and that's their love language. And we need to recognize things like that with our children, with our family. It is just so important. So that's why I'm always inviting people over and wanting to hang out. And we're going to have an event coming up. Vivian, are you up here? Vivian, what's the date of that event at High Falls Park? The one that's in the morning, at 10 o'clock or something like that, the earlier one. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna set that up so that anybody that's available will be able to get together and do a nature walk. It's gonna be medicinal plants and stuff like that. So, yeah, I like doing stuff like that. But I just want to know from you what stood out in the video. And do I have somebody want to share? Okay, thank you. We love to have men share. We don't have that many of them, but when we get them now, we're keeping them.
See, boy, ice cream on the doggy. Dog, me.
I was talking about when it said that, the friendship part, saying that the more friendship that you have, the longer you live. So I said, when I'm ready to kick the bucket, I'll just kick all my friends out.
Oh my. Well, the part. Oh. Thank you.
What I learned is that it's important to surround yourself with like-minded individuals, and in doing so, your immune system is boosted because when they did the nasal spray of the common cold, they noticed the people who were surrounded by friends didn't get sick as opposed to those who were in solitude and withdrawn from others around them. So it is important for us to have interpersonal relationships because we were not created to be alone. We were created to be a community. As you see, tribalism, even in the Bible, people lived in groups. And when we go away from being amongst others, sickness and illness and poor habits take place because while being in groups, they keep us accountable. And I see that is what we have here at Creation.
Amen. Thank you. Okay, my last comment is going to be this. If you guys notice that when you come here, because it happened to me 4 years ago and I'm still here, this is a place where we just love on people and you just feel good coming here. And anytime that you're building relationships like this, it's going to boost your immune system. So I'm going to ask you not to just stick, especially with the green table that's overpowering everybody. Well, maybe the green team can be the first one to reach out to others and include it and spread some of that joy and happiness at the other tables that may be a little bit too quiet. What's that? Oh, okay. Well, we just want everybody to feel the love that's in this place. Thank you very much. And now we're going to get ready for Nutrition 101.
Good evening, everyone. So good to see you. I apologize for my tardiness. This is my mom's 81st birthday today. So, your birthday too? Yeah, happy birthday. She's like, how did you know that? Happy birthday. Whose birthday? It's your birthday. Hello, happy birthday. No. So happy birthday to everybody who has a birthday in March. We'll get you early. Yeah, so we were celebrating your birthday as well today. Oh, in March. March 7th. Wonderful. Happy early birthday. So we were celebrating with my mom. Every day is precious with her. Some of you got to meet her last week, right? Yeah, you sure did. My precious mom. Okay, did we already say welcome to Miss Peggy? Did we welcome her back today? Hello, Miss Peggy, we missed you. We welcomed Harold back last week, yes. And we know that she came back and she wasn't feeling well. We're so happy to see you today. So happy to have you here. Is there anybody else we need to welcome back? Christian, yay! Christian and Jacqueline, yes, both in Kenya. Yes, yes, I am going to Kenya this year as well. In June. You were on a mission trip, right? Awesome, but different places in Kenya. You were in different places in Kenya. Wonderful, welcome home. Glad to have you. Okay, anybody else? Are we missing? Oh, hi, Miss Olive. Where is she? Where's Miss Olive? Oh, there you are. Welcome. Last week was your first week here. Your second time was last time? Today is your third time? Oh, okay, welcome. Glad to have you. All right. So I did want to say something about the interpersonal relationships before we move. And that is, do you know what the love languages are? Can you name them? Okay, so I'm going to tell you that this totally transformed my life, my marriage, my relationships with my children, with my friends, because the way you love is also the way you hurt, right? And so if I said to you, leave it, you look at me like you're looking at me now, like what did you just say to me, right? Right, unless you understood German. Because I just told you I loved you, but you didn't understand that, so it really didn't mean anything to you, did it? Right? But she speaks German, and she said that she loves me too. Okay? So if you're speaking in a language, talking about interpersonal relationships and why we have so much controversy in our relationships when we don't understand our love languages. The 5 love languages, and you can think about this, and there's a book. If you've never heard of the 5 languages, you should consider buying that book and reading it. It'll change your life. So there are 5 primary love languages. One is quality time. That's definitely Miss Charlotte. Anybody? Yes, how you like to be, and maybe the way you like to be loved by your spouse is different than the way you like to be loved by other people. Okay, so let's just acknowledge that. But quality time. So that means if I really want to hurt Miss Charlotte, then I won't take any time to spend with her. When she invites me, I'm never available, all of that. Trust me, I know. Okay, so the way you love them is also the way you can hurt them. Okay, so quality time is one. Words of affirmation is another. Some people like to be affirmed. They like to hear words. They like to hear how meaningful they are to you and those kinds of things, right? But you can also hurt them that way when you say things that are critical. And maybe you weren't being critical. You just thought you were just trying to give some advice. That might hurt them because it makes them feel like, oh, you know, they take that personally, okay? So words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service. I feel so loved when my husband takes my car to get the oil changed. And that's how I feel loved by him, right? And so in turn, I like to cook for him and make him make him special dishes. And I like to, make sure I wash his clothes and, but that doesn't make him feel loved because his love language is physical touch. He likes to be touched, right? That's the 4th one, by the way. So the way you like to be loved is not necessarily the way you should love on other people. You love them the way they want to be loved. And so he likes to be touched. He like, if we're sitting in a room, he doesn't want me way across the room, you know? He wants me to touch him, you know? Physical touch. So you can tell those people because a lot of times they like to hug or they won't, you know, they're standing by you, they might touch you on their shoulder. You know, you can really pick up on that easily. Okay, so acts of service, doing kind things for them, words of affirmation, physical touch, quality time, and gifts. Gifts. It doesn't mean that people are superficial because they like to receive gifts. Because truthfully, and my daughter is like this, it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. This is what she taught me. You were thinking about me. You were thinking about me. So if you are, you know, if you celebrate Christmas and you are going to buy somebody a gift, they might not feel so special if you just give them money. It doesn't matter if it's $1,000. But if you got them a sweater with their name on it, that said, you're like, I'd rather have the $1,000, right? But that said, you were thinking of me. I was on your mind. Do you see what I'm saying? So sometimes you can pick up on how people like to be loved by the way they show it, right? Maybe they give a lot of gifts, or maybe they're always very affirmative and always saying kind words to other people. Or maybe they're just super helpful. They want to help you in any way they can, right? Or maybe every time you're around them, they're touching your shoulder, or they grab your hand, or, you know, obviously appropriate touching, okay? So just knowing that simple fact can help you maybe improve your marriages. I've had people say to me, I wish I had known that. Maybe I'd still be married, you know? Because for years I was like, I cannot believe this man doesn't think I love him. What? I do this and this and this and this, you know, when all he really needed was for me to touch him, you know, and to show love in that way. He's okay if he doesn't have breakfast, but he does want to be touched, okay? All right. Okay, so let's move on. Oh, and I did want to make this comment too. That's why virtual will never outdo live programs. Because it doesn't matter how we communicate on virtual, we cannot touch, right? And did you hear that? We need to be touched. Even those of us who don't necessarily like to be touched. Sometimes when we're hurting, sometimes we're broken, a hug does a lot of good, right? All righty. Okay, so today we are going to, by way of testimonies, I'm going to bring up a very special table. If you've not heard of this table, then this must be your first time here. That would be the green team. I'm going to ask the green team to make their way up to the front. Come on, green team. All right, we have the green team. So I invited the green team to come up because I think there is something very, very special about this green team. And the thing that I appreciate the most about the green team is how encouraging they are on their chat. When I say this chat is going on and on and on and on 20, 40, 50 times a day, they are communicating with the chat. Also, they move as a unit. I love that so much. They move as a unit. They are so encouraging. And they have, when they decided to do the 2x2, this is really special, really, really special. When they decided to do the 2x2 together, they decided they needed some extra prayer. So every day at 2 o'clock, was it 2? Oh, 6 and 2. Okay, so 6 because you're exercising at 6. And then 2 because you're stopping eating at 2. They're like sending out prayers on the group, you know. They have these sweet little competitions where they and it's for fun. It really isn't any avarice or any kind of malice or anything. Where they Oh yeah. Oh, they have their little medals that they earned for something special. So I want to just hear, I want to hear how accountability has impacted you. Okay. If you felt like you wanted to fall down, but your group, how has that impacted you, or has it? Because we know that some people are just externally motivated. I mean, just self-motivated. They don't need anybody else. When they make up in their minds they're going to do something, they're just going to do it, right? But then some people need encouragement. Some people, when they feel down, they need to hear that somebody else is struggling or this is hard for someone else. So I really want to know how, because somehow you really got the whole concept of this chat and this accountability. So tell me how it has impacted you personally. And even though I don't want to take a long time, I do want to hear, um, you know, if your goal was weight loss, what you've experienced or what you have experienced, in particular about the chat and how it's helped you. Okay, and this is Miss Santika.
Hi, my name is Santiga. Since I started this program, I have like really, I'm really enjoying doing it. At first, I didn't think I was gonna like it, and I didn't think I was gonna be able to do it. And I'm like, oh Jesus, I gotta really account myself for all this. But anyways, with all that being said, I really have been able to do like the juicing, and I didn't think I was gonna be able to do the 2x2, but I really have been able to like really do it, and just keep my mind focused like on prayer. Like when we get the little prayers and stuff in our group, I just read that and go on about my day. And I have lost some weight, and I have gained a lot of energy, and I'm able to like work out and exercise more like I really want to. So to me, that's like been encouraging to me to keep, to keep me going so that I continue a healthy lifestyle.
Amen. Amen. Hello, my name is Maggie. How y'all doing? And for me, this has taught me growth mentally. Once I had introduced this, we talked about it last year. She didn't forget about me this year, and we hadn't even ran into each other anymore since we talked about this thing. So as we talked about it, I said, I'm ready for change. Because all this other stuff going on, I'm trying to do myself. So something has to change. So the first time I came in to the program, did all the analysis and all that stuff, and we separated into the group. The energy on this green team was everything that I needed. So it just gave me the boost. So I said, oh, I am ready. See, so each and every day and every week, it gets better and better. Well, I get sweeter and sweeter, baby. Sweeter and sweeter. And my blood pressures and my diabetes. Oh, I am. I stayed the same this week, though, but I am down 11 pounds.
All right, I'm Yoshina. Hi. And I will say being a part of the program has been amazing. I heard about it. People who know me know I get excited. I always have an idea. And coming into the program, I said, okay, I'm going to do it. Started off really good. I'm going to be your example today. And then after we started, the 2x2 did really good that week, the first 2x2. And then Maxwell had a little vacation. And it kind of just slipped me off of the program. And I was like, man, now I didn't lose the weight that I wanted to lose. However, I will say the biggest lesson I learned in the program, and speaking of love languages, is that I love to help. I love to do for other people. And it's so, it feels me so well to be in such a group who receives me well. And I asked them today, I said, well, I didn't want to overwhelm me with the prayers. And said, no, what you was doing was amazing. When you was doing the 6 and the 2, so that was good. So continue to do that. But my lesson was I pour so much into others and other things that I do forget about me. And that is the one thing that I know God is teaching me. And he's showing me as his daughter. He says, you are supposed to pour into people, but you're doing it the wrong way. You're supposed to fill you up first, and your overflow goes to everyone else. So once you do that, that is the biggest blessing ever. And I'm getting emotional because knowing that it's kind of a sin in a sense because God wants you to rest. He wants all of you. And He can't have all of you if you're not full. So that is what I'm learning. I know we're halfway through. So even though I didn't lose any weight, green team, trust me, I'm going to finish this thing good. I'm Premlada.
AKA our big stepper.
So the other day, one week, Lakeisha was talking about how she does the step competitions. I said, "Oh, I love step competitions. I used to do them when I had my Fitbit." And so we were trying to be friends on Apple. Apple kind of shuts it down where you can't really have more than two people competing at a time. So then Lakeisha found this app called Stride Kick. So we all get on Stride Kick, y'all, and we are like stepping it up. And so every week I just happen to be the top stepper. I don't know how that keeps happening. But I just keep walking out. Competition is good for me. And so so Deidre was killing me last week. And then I had said, let me get out here and walk. And so, oh, I didn't look back. Okay. All right. So Deidre is our motivator. And she and I met up. So I was on break week before last. We had winter break. And Deidre said, "Oh, it would be nice if we can get together and walk." So 2 mornings we met at one of the high schools and we walked. And I just love that, like the connection, the interpersonal. We got to know each other even better, just walking and talking. And it's healthy. We were sharing recipes with each other. And it's just been just a great experience for me. I missed the first one because we were out of town. And then when we missed the second and third one, I got defeated, kind of, sort of, but I was like, "Lord, I still want to do this. This is what I want to do." And so once we were able to come and I actually met everybody in person, I was like, "Thank you, Jesus. I know. Thank you, Lord, for letting me just stick it out and get through the tough time of the weather and to be here." So when I started the program, I started juicing when everybody else did, but I didn't do the biometrics, but I still took my own weight. And so if I'm down 10 pounds from when I did my biometrics, but I'm down 20 pounds total in the program. So I'm very thankful for that.
Good afternoon. My name is Lakeisha Jacobs. Hello. So by profession, I am a sales leader. What I do is I coach and develop people to go out and make money. So I said, well, why not use my same training with my team and coach and develop them to get out and get healthier. And I will say it has changed my life tremendously. For those that don't know, I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma when I turned 40. And so I went to the doctor 2 weeks ago, did my scans and everything. And so the doctor came out, he's like, "Miss Jacobs, what's going on?" And I'm looking like, okay, what you gonna tell me, right? And he's like, "Okay, 6 months ago we did this, and when I say it was up and down and just crazy as far as my test result, this go round, everything was in the green. I mean, it was because I was headed towards having to do chemo and all this stuff, and he said, "You know what? We don't have to do that." So changing my lifestyle. So changing my lifestyle and, the eating habits and stuff. And he even lost weight too. He's like, "You know what? I've changed my lifestyle as well." So he's on the raw diet too. I said, "Okay, Doc, I see you." So yeah, I'm happy. But I enjoy this team, the camaraderie and just the motivation for each other. Like we post pics of our food and juicing and like Yoshina does the prayers. And it's, I'm a competitor at heart. So I like to compete. But to see these women come together and encourage each other, it's fulfilling for me. And plus the fact that this program is free. I remember, I'm gonna be quick. Miss Jewel called me and she was going down how the program and this and that. I said, "So how much is it?" She's like, "No, it's free." I hung up. I said, Yoshina, how much is this program? She's like, it's free, it's free. But to know that you all take the time and resources and energy to pour into us, I'm forever grateful for this. Thank you.
Amen. Uh, I don't even know what to say except inspiration. I tell you what, these women, they inspire me so much. And just being with them and just reading these posts and just being, it is such a glorious thing. And Linda and I, we text, we're the old folks in here. So we text and keep each other encouraged. But I can just tell you, I'll tell you a really quick story. Last weekend, like a week ago, I fell and I have osteopenia. So my bones are a little bit brittle anyway. But I think that the Lord, besides the fact that eating well and really changing my diet, God did a miracle. I was like black from my shoulder down to my hip, but I was able to get up. We prayed, and I was able to get up and walk. And you know what? I've been walking this week. So praise God.
Well, thank you. As you know, Creation Life is near and dear to me. I have been doing this for the 4th year, but because of Deidre, this is probably the first time I really did the program. You know what I'm saying? I just picked and chose what I wanted out of the program, but this is the first time I really did the program. I have lost, I was at 165, I am now 150. One of my friends this morning who had invited me to breakfast was saying, she said, your stomach is so flat. What are you doing? And I've been inviting my neighbors and others to the program. One thing that really troubles me, in my little town of Thomaston, Georgia, every week when you open the pages of the obituaries, the people are in their 40s and 50s or younger. It's not the older people who are dying. We need to be sounding the alarm about how critical this health information is. If you want to live long, if you want to be healthy and moving around, if you want to see your grandchildren, please bring your friends, please bring your family, please involve your community. It needs to spread. But, and I know it because I'm really actually doing the program this year. And I went to the doctor recently and my numbers had improved in so many ways. They're my blood pressure is a little tricky. I'm not on the pressure down like I should be. My hands are just too full what I got on, and I don't put myself first. Who was it? There you go. Yeah. So, but my cup is overflowing for everyone else. I need to balance that out a little better. And they listened to me. I was boohooing and everything about they're just such a comforting, I don't have to be ashamed of my situation. And I thank you guys for the energy and the positivity and the love. Woo, thank you so much. Was there something else you wanted me to share? Oh, I don't want to talk about that. I was whopping for me, because it's just not made for my frame. I was about 190, 187 and 190. I never wanted to say 190. So over the years, I've been able to keep it off. Even when I wasn't following it as good as now, I've been able to keep that weight off. Where's Charlotte at? I worked in corporate for a long time. So I said, I will never put on a suit again. I probably wore spandex leggings for about 5 years. And my mom was like, put some clothes on, Cheryl. So I finally did, but I was like, you don't notice how big you're getting when you wear those loose clothing, right? You're just getting bigger and you're happy. Yeah, thinking you're looking good. And so she's exaggerated, but I thought I was good. But one day when I did the program, my mom was like, what happened to your back? It's gone, y'all. But I feel healthier and the better for it.
My name is Brenda, and I started this program last year, and it was Deidre invited me, but it was in the middle of the program. So I was definitely, and I said to myself, I'm getting in there on the beginning. And so I'm glad that I came back, and like Jewel said, this is a gun-ho group right here. And Deidre's been saying, we need for you to say something on that. I said, well, when I have something to say, I will. But all the other words that I'm reading are so encouraging. I don't need to jump in. And I wasn't here last week. And the good thing about this group that I've learned is, I guess, I told Linda today, I said, I'd never seen that word, connectedness. And so I think that describes this group, the connectedness of it, not just Green, but the entire Creation Life team. So I'm just fortunate to be a part of it. And last week I was not here. And an example of that connectedness is Charlotte, Cheryl, and Jewel calling. We missed you, you know, and that meant a lot to me. That, of course, I had already checked in with Deidre. And yes, it's all worth it. I would tell anybody that. And as far as the steps, Deidre and I got an ongoing joke. I don't know how you can beat Deidre with the steps, because last week Deidre was walking upside down. When I saw her, I guess she had her phone upside down. It was hilarious. So that's our inside joke now. I bet you nobody else can do that. But I am so fortunate to be a part of this group. And I've lost, and I'm down a little over 20 pounds. You know?
My name is Linda, and this is my second time into the program. The first year was great, and this year has been even greater for me. And the reason being, I have to say in terms of the greatness in it, is the interpersonal relationships that have been established here. I'm one of those that often tell me that I'm a giver. I don't know how to actually receive. But I have received so much that you all can't even begin to imagine the effect that it has had upon me. And the one thing that really, really gets me is, but there's two things, but one of the first things that really gets me is that people saw some things, family members saw some things that I went through the first year, and they decided to join the second year. My daughter-in-law, Yoshina, Keisha, and Lorraine, and I have church members. I have two other church members that are not here today because of previous commitments, but they actually saw the results, and they actually joined the program for the first time this year, and they are doing exceptionally well in terms from a health perspective as well as an interpersonal relationship as well. They talk about it. The second thing I want to say, I get carried away. The second thing that I want to say is that when I first joined too, my reaction, Keisha, was, it's free. Can't, I go to the doctor every day. I pay for it. And you all reminded me that the doctor tell me what's wrong, but they don't tell me what to do in order to correct it. So that was a key to me. So maybe if we stop saying that the program is free, because it's free in terms of monetary values, but it's not free when it comes to your time, your commitment, you know, your responsibilities, the things that you have to do. That's a price. You have to be committed to paying. So from now on, I'm not going to say it's free. I'll say free from a monetary standpoint, but there are other things that you have to do from a personal standpoint if you want to move from point A to point B. So that's where I am. Over the 2 years, I've lost a total of 22 pounds.
I'm Deidre. For those who don't know me. But I am so proud of this team. Everybody on this team brings something different to the team. One may bring the motivation, one bring the enthusiasm, one bring the encouragement, one bring the joy, one bring the sunshine, just saying good morning with the little sunshine thing. And you know, and it's a joy, and they make it easy to be a table leader, this team. And one of the church members that Linda was speaking of is LaWanna Tomlinson. Well, LaWanna was doing the 2x4. And she told me she fell off the wagon a little bit. She said, but she still lost 5 pounds this past week. So she's lost a total of 20-something pounds since this year. And I know you all see the ladies up here with their medals on. Each week we highlight somebody for for something that they've done, and just to keep them encouraged. Well, this week I'm proud to announce our winner is Miss Debbie Harmon. Because, and for her perseverance, because even though she had a hard week last week, she failed, she still kept encouraging, she still kept going, and that's what it takes to be a part of a team. And so, with me, this week I lost 3 pounds. Ring the bell, ring the bell, ring the bell. And I've been doing the 2x2. Well, I actually started doing 2x2 last year. I kind of fell off a little bit, but not much. But this year, since we started back on the 2x2, I have done really good. I am amazed at myself. And let me tell y'all a little story. For those who know me well, know I love fish. Love, 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 love fish. Today, I was out to brunch. The person sitting right across from me had wet fish. Who was sitting right here? Jewel. So I just ate my quinoa salad. I made a choice.
What's your total weight?
77 pounds.
Thank you, Green Team. Thank you so much.
Really quick. Can I have all of the team? Can I have anybody who is on the leadership team stand up for me for just a moment? Anyone who is on the leadership team for the Creation Life program, just stand up. I want you to see, you guys talk about this free program. I want you to see for yourself how this is made possible and how sacred what we're doing is. It's changing lives, it's transforming lives, and we want this to spread. But I want to thank you, each and every one of you, for what you do to make this program possible. Even I have to pinch myself that this kind of cooperation, this kind of leadership, this kind of information that's being given out so beautifully. And we thank you, Dr. Jewel, for your part that you play, that God is using you to change lives. And we're grateful to you. Thank you.
God be praised. God be praised. All right. Thank you. Woo, more energy in the room. All right. We're going to finish up with our Nutrition 101. And thank you. Thank you for my little cue. So we do this program one time a year. It really takes us a whole year to work with a group of people because we go from for 12 weeks, as you know. And by the way, we're past the half mark. We've rounded the corner. We are in week 7. How many of you are committed to finishing strong? All right. All right. So we're going to talk about how you can do that. But what I was going to say is when we finish the 12-week program and then we go into once a month. Okay, so we don't just let you go and never see you again. We'd like to still see you one time a month, but we kind of transition and we start talking about diseases, specific disease processes. You have hypertension, you need to know what causes that. If you have diabetes, you need to know what causes that, right? So we literally go into different disease processes. So we'll start that once a month. So the next live program won't be until 2027, right? And your friends, I know they're watching your transformation saying, what are you doing? How can I get in? And so I want to let you know that we're going to be doing a virtual program. And it starts right after this is finished. Okay? April the 26th. You're welcome to join as well if you want to stay connected, if you want to hear these things again, if you want to come with your friends, if you invite a cousin or a friend or a sister, it would be nice if you were there too, so they can feel a part. So I know that some of you have been sending these out because we've already been getting people who are already signed up for the, I guess our limit would be 100 because that's how many we can have on our Zoom. So if you'd like, we can post this. Have we done this already? Did we post it in the WhatsApp chat already? You know? Okay. Okay, so we're gonna try to post this in the WhatsApp chat and just send it to your friends if they are interested, okay? We know that they need to make the choice. So if they're interested, send that to them and the instructions are on there, what they need to do to get signed up for the program. It's gonna be very similar to this, the information. However, they're not gonna get to taste any food because it's virtual, right? We'll still do cooking demos though. They'll get to see us, they'll get to see the products that we use, but they won't get to taste the food. And they won't, maybe we'll do some small groups because that kind of worked well on our Zoom. So maybe we'll do small groups this time. Okay, depending on the size of it. Yes, your question, please. They will not get any books, but they will get all the documents virtually, digitally. Okay, so we'll still send them the information. They just won't have binders like that. Because these people will be all over the world. Yeah, they'll be from Canada, they'll be from England, they'll be from Jamaica. They'll be all over, okay? Yes, question? Yes, they are signing up. Consults? They will start late March, because that doesn't even start until April. Yeah, and again, you know how all of you had a health consult before you came? We still do that with them, okay? We still want to know what's going on with them because as you're going to hear today in our health talk, everybody can't do the same thing. It's not healthy for everybody to do the same thing. And so we want to have just a little picture of what their health history is so that we can make some recommendations on how they might modify the program, okay? All right. Yes, how about Miss Chandra's table? How about the gold table? Can we do the gold table next time? Yay, I love that. All right, go gold. All right. I want to talk to you about probably, I don't know if I can think of a more controversial health topic than this one. Maybe later you can tell me. And if you have one that's more controversial, then maybe we'll talk about it in our next Creation Life, okay? This is probably the most controversial topic that I can think of, and that's why I like to present on it every year, because this is an education program, okay? This is not medical advice, we are educating here. And we want you to know how to make informed decisions, and you can't do that if you don't have all the information, right? Okay, so let me ask you, could you go to week 7 for me, please? Or should I be doing this? Oh, okay, good. Is anybody else hot or is it just me? Oh, good. I thought I was just having one of my menopausal moments. Thank you, Miss Brenda. Thank you so much. By the way, Ms. Cheryl is putting together a slideshow of our weeks in review. We are rounding the corner, so I hope you have already marked the graduation off on your calendar. It will not be a Sunday, it will be a Saturday. For some of you, that's good news because you go to church on Sundays, but it will be a Saturday afternoon, so please mark that. We're getting ready for our plant-based feast, so you're cooking the dinner. All of you are cooking the dinner. So we'll talk about that more later. Thank you so much. Okay, read this with me. Excellence is not for the gifted. It belongs to the persistent. Who has an idea of what that means? Excellence isn't for the gifted. It's for the persistent. Yes. Hi, Ms. Marilyn. I didn't even see you. Welcome back. And yes, God is faithful. Tell me what you think that means.
I just think that it means stay in the room, stick with it, keep it going. Even if you fail, one day at a time. Next day, start it over. Consistent.
That's right. She's absolutely right. It's not those that are excellent or have excellent results are not just the smartest people in the world, but they are the persistent people, the people who keep trying, the people who don't give up, the people who don't get discouraged, right? And they use their challenges as stepping stones to move to the next point. So if we're going to finish strong, we're going to have to be persistent. We're going to have to push through, okay? All right, the soy controversy. Soy. What have you heard negative about soy? Yes, say it out, say it nice and loud. Can we get a Roman mic? Not mine, but another one. Oh, Charlotte has one. Could you take that mic back? What have you, raise your hand if you heard anything negative about soy. Okay, great, great, great. Let's go here, let's hear some of these. What have you heard about soy? One thing.
Well, I heard that it used to make rubber.
It's used to make rubber? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Soy is used to make rubber. Okay. Another good use of soy. Okay, go ahead. I'm glad you didn't say it's made out of rubber. Go ahead.
I'm always told you can't eat too much soy. That's going to cause cancer.
Okay. Soy causes cancer. Good. Mr. LeRae. And then we'll take Miss Erica.
Kind of piggybacking off the cancer, it raises estrogen levels,
Raises.
which also can lead to cancer, certain cancers.
Okay. Raises estrogen levels, which can lead to cancer.
If you have uterine fibroids, it's definitely not good, for the whole hormonal reproductive health.
Okay, so it's not good for hormonal reproductive health because it has estrogen in it. Okay, okay, if you have fibroids.
That it wasn't real, that it was man-made.
Like GMO?
Yeah.
Okay, that is GMO. Okay. Ms. Dorothy?
That's what I was going to say. Some of it is
Okay.
genetically modified.
Genetically modified. Okay. All right. Were there any on this side? Have you heard anything negative about soy? Okay. Someone's already said it. Okay. No more? Okay. Let's talk about soy. Because as much good literature as you could find on soy, you can find that much negative literature as well. So we need to sift through that, okay? First of all, let's talk about the different kinds of soy and different forms of soy. Okay. I know we're all familiar with tofu right here, okay? Firm tofu, but you can get it soft and silken in every way. Then you can get tempeh. You can have soy yogurt. Maybe everybody's heard of soy sauce, right? Like on Asian dishes, okay? And TVP, texturized vegetable protein, or short TVP. Edamame. Edamame, dried or frozen, soy curls, soy milk. So many, it comes in so many different forms, okay? Now, let's talk about what the concern is. As you have mentioned, there are some people who say it causes breast cancer, disrupts the thyroid, all related to the hormones. Estrogen in men, have you heard of soy boy? What does that mean? Soy boobs, makes them grow boobs, makes them effeminate, so they won't eat soy because they definitely don't want to be gaining any estrogen or losing any testosterone. GMO, that is genetically modified. I didn't hear this one. Bad for the environment. Has anybody ever heard that soy is bad for the environment and why that's the case? Well, the reason is because of deforestation. Because a lot of the Amazon rainforest, and why is the Amazon rainforest important to us? It helps with the climate, okay. Anything else? Oxygen. That's where we get almost a quarter of the world's oxygen from, right, in the Amazon. So we can't tear all the trees down in the Amazon rainforest, right? Okay. So when they're tearing up all of these trees and growing all this soy, right, deforestation, then people are saying, hey, you know, soy is bad for the environment. Okay. All right, we're going to talk about these things. Okay. All right, so let me show you what's happening with the soy plant. Okay, any science majors in here? Okay. Nurses are science majors, by the way, and especially doctors. What? All right, we have a physician and we have several nurses in this room. So I know you recognize these molecules right here. I know that for sure, but I'm going to try to make this simple in case, you know, many of us are not familiar with chemistry. All right, so human estrogen. We know that that's, you know, women have a lot of human estrogen, right? And they need a lot of estrogen. But this is a human estrogen. This is what the molecule looks like. And this is a plant estrogen. We call them phytoestrogen. The word phyto means plant, okay? So plant estrogen looks like this. And one of the most common types of compounds found in plant estrogens is isoflavones. So this is very similar to this. Look at this. This hydrogen and oxygen right here connected. It looks very similar to that. Can y'all see that? Okay. So it attaches like estrogen. It kind of mimics it. Okay. And so this is part of the concern right here. Also, in one study, a man, a 60-year-old man, drank almost a gallon of soy every day and grew breasts. Okay, and in some studies, rats that grew some tumors and things like that. So that's where the controversy comes from. Okay, so let's talk about this. This is pretty important. First of all, phytoestrogens are not just found in soy. They're found in whole grains. They're found in legumes and lentils and chickpeas and, you know, things like that. Okay, so if you're not going to eat phytoestrogens, plant estrogens, then you got to cut out your grains. You got to cut out your legumes too. Okay, we're not going to do that. We're certainly not going to do that. Secondly, this isoflavone and this connection is very, very, very weak. Okay, it mimics estrogen, but it is not nearly as strong as estrogen. Okay, so it mimics it slightly. Okay. Thirdly, what I found when I became plant-based, this is my own personal experience. Remember, for those who have heard my testimony, I learned this stuff in one night. It took about 2 or 3 hours, and I learned everything that I needed to get started. And literally, that's the last time my friend and I have ever even talked about health. Okay? So I made a lot of mistakes along the way. And one of the things I used to do, especially since I don't have a lot of time, is I used to buy everything plant-based, everything, you know, from the refrigerated section in boxes. As long as it didn't have any animal products, it was free game. Okay? So what I found myself doing is I would be eating, you know, tofurkey for lunch. Okay? Tofurkey for lunch. And of course, that has soy, tofu. I would be eating vegan mayonnaise on top of that sandwich. That has soy. I would be eating whole wheat bread that I bought. That has soy. I'd be eating scrambled tofu for breakfast. That has soy. I'd be eating soy milk in my oatmeal. That has soy. Do you get the point, right? So every single day, I'm eating soy 5, 6, 7 times, right? When if I just stayed away from those products, I could have eliminated a lot of that, right? So the excessiveness, using this excessively, is a problem, okay? Just like if you were to drink 2 gallons of water right now, and you are 100 pounds, you know, or 3 gallons of water, you might die. That doesn't mean the water is bad, right? I'll tell you a story of Deetra. Deetra was with her daughter, and they were on their way somewhere, and she was eating these pecans. This is not during her health journey. She was eating these pecans, and her daughter said, you're eating all these pecans, you're gonna get sick. And she's like, whatever. So she keeps eating the pecans all the way. And all the way back out of town, she's just eating pecans. The next day, she is so sick. She's eating these pecans. She literally ended up having to have surgery the next day, or maybe the next week. Had to take out her gallbladder. What was her body supposed to do with all that oil? Isn't that what our gallbladders help do? Right? She literally had to end up having. Does that mean the pecan is bad? What does that mean? She didn't do that in moderation. Isn't that correct? So I'm here to tell you, anything you do, I don't care how good water is, you can't overdo it. That includes exercise. That includes apples, whatever, because our bodies are compensatory. They are going to compensate. If you're giving it too much of something else, it's gonna form something else or take away something else. It's going to compensate for us overdoing it. Okay, yes. You eating too many mangoes and you turn yellow and you were so sick from eating too many mangoes. But is the mango bad? Would you spread around the world that you can't eat mangoes because they turn you yellow? No, nobody would do that, right? Yes. Similar example. Son was a baby. He only liked carrots. Every day she gave him carrots. He turned orange. His eyes are orange. His skin is orange. Carotene overdose. Did you hear that? Right? So one of the challenges is using it in excess. The second thing is that all soy is not the same, and we're gonna be educated on that today. Okay? All soy is not the same, and so we're gonna talk about the kind that we need to be eating and the kind that we really need to stay away from. Okay? In fact, everything has soy in it. If you look on the back of the label, almost everything says wheat or soy, doesn't it? And I'm like, why does this ketchup need soy in it? Why? Why? A filler, right? Okay. All right. Let's go to the good side. The good side. Okay, that was the bad news about soy. And by the way, that case was a single case of one man, not 100 men, not 10 men, one, drinking that for a limited amount of time, or a long time, I should say, a gallon a day. Who drinks a gallon of soy milk a day? A gallon of sweet tea a day. Her blood sugar was at 900, she said. I know somebody used to drink like 4 or 5 Coca-Colas a day, That's just excessive, okay? Our body has to compensate for that. That's why we always say up here, you've got to get a variety. Please do not cook 1 pot of oatmeal and eat it every day for breakfast. Please don't do that. Please don't cook 1 pot of beans and eat it every day for 7 days. I know you're getting it done and you're getting your legume in, but we need a variety, and we're going to talk about that, okay? All right? So, but I was going to say, but on the other hand, there are at least 15 studies of people where there have been no effects in men And it has decreased cholesterol. It has improved their heart health. What about those 15 studies versus this one study of one man who did it excessively? Okay? All right, so let's talk about the good parts of soy. Good news. First of all, it's extremely versatile. Look at this, all the ways you can use it. Cheesecake. Sauces like Alfredo sauces or mayo or scrambled tofu or putting it in smoothies or using it as an egg replacer or, so many ways that we can use soy, okay? Because soy tastes like nothing. So you can make it taste like whatever you want it to taste like, parfait or cheese or whatever. It's extremely, extremely versatile. That's one advantage. It is a complete protein. Now, hear me out on this. And this is another reason we need to be getting a variety when we are plant-based, whole food plant-based. Because unlike some animal protein, you don't get all the essential amino acids. And by essential, I mean the amino acids that your body doesn't make, but you have to have. You've got to get it from somewhere, okay? And so you can't get those just by eating one kind of bean, unless it's a complete protein. And by complete protein, I mean that one bean has all the essential amino acids in it, itself, by itself. But typically, we have to mix them together to get everything that we need. That's another reason we eat a variety, okay? And that's why people say, oh, you can't get enough protein. First of all, let me be very clear. We don't need nearly as much protein as we think that we do, okay? You only need, on average, 45 to 55 grams of protein a day, okay? We get triple, quadruple that amount in America, okay? And that's why we have so much osteoporosis. That's why we're leaching calcium out of our bones, okay? Our bodies will compensate. If we get too much of something, it's got to do something with it, okay? So we don't want to do that. So you don't even need that much, as much protein as we're thinking in the first place, as the standard American thinks that we do. It's a complete protein, but it's not the only thing that's complete. Would you like to know where else you can get complete proteins from? You eat one thing and get all the essential amino acids? Okay, I'm going to give you 5 of them. Hemp seeds. Okay? Hemp seeds. Edamame. Now, what is edamame? It's soy. So who wants to tell me the difference between soybean and edamame? Do you know? Has anybody ever eaten edamame? Not you, Deetra. You heard this whole presentation yesterday. You do not count. Edamame is the early young soy pod. Okay? When you take that, this is how it grows. When it grows in the field, people probably call it soybean, but that's edamame when you pick it. When you take it or you dry it out, now it's called the soybean. Okay? So it's the same thing. There's soy, one is just dried out. If we dry it out, we do call that process, right? So it's minimally processed. It's kind of like taking a cashew and you have a raw cashew and then you roast it, right? That's a little processing, right? Okay, so edamame, complete protein. Sure. You don't know how to cook it? I'm gonna give you some homework because this is a cook right here. I want you to find 3 delicious recipes for edamame this week. Can you come back and tell us? Okay, right, okay, because you can, huh? Yeah, bring us some to taste. There you go. Now that's real homework, right? What was your question, please? That's a great question. My guess is yes. because most grains either need to be cooked or soaked or something to activate them, okay? So that's my guess, but I really don't know. Do you know, Chandra? They are tiny. So are chia seeds. Yes? Put them in your smoothie. Well, if you put them in your smoothie, you're blending them, right? Did you hear that? She's going to give you one recipe, okay? All right. Yes, Miss Marilyn? Okay. Uh-huh. Tablespoon and sprinkle it. Good. Okay. Great, great, great. Okay, I need to move on so we can get through this. Okay. Farro, this is an ancient grain, like, you know, something similar to rice. Quinoa. Quinoa. We eat a lot of quinoa, right? I hope you're eating some quinoa. Very versatile also. And buckwheat. Okay. Quinoa? Okay. And buckwheat. It's not just a complete protein and very versatile. It is full of fiber, protein, and vitamins too. Very, very nutritious. Soy is. Excellent anti-inflammatory, antioxidant. It's because of those isoflavones that it's an antioxidant, okay? This is what keeps you looking younger, keeps your skin from wrinkling. And has anybody told you about your skin lately since you've heard that, haven't you? That's because you're eating all those antioxidants now. They tell you that when you walk, they say, oh, your skin is so it's glowing. That's what's happening. This is anti-aging, okay? Antioxidants, anti-cancer. Lifestyle centers, I'm not sure if you're familiar with what a lifestyle center is, but it's used all over the world in lifestyle centers. This is a place where you come for, like, you're learning this, then you go home and do it, right? But there are people who come to centers for like 2 or 3 weeks. They just stay there. They get massages, they get hydrotherapy, people cook for them, they go on walks. It's just a retreat. And they learn this stuff in a 2-3 week period. You see what I'm saying? Those are called lifestyle centers. I don't know of one that does not use soy. All of them that I know of use soy to heal, okay? Use soy on cancer patients and everything else, okay? It protects against heart disease for all those reasons I just mentioned. Protects against osteoporosis, okay? Protection against menopause. That definitely makes sense. Prevention of breast cancer and prostate cancer. Okay, I've seen it used many, 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 many times. Okay, and so you want to try to find something that is not only organic, but non-GMO. Now, unfortunately, organic is not regulated. So it says organic, but who regulates that anyway? Who makes sure that okay, but at least try, okay? At least we're trying. We're doing the best we can. And then non-GMO. Let it be non-GMO verified if you can, because all tofu, you know, may not be good to eat in terms of GMO. Okay, here's another one. I don't really know if this is non-GMO though, but I do know it's organic. Okay, so what's the takeaway here? This is what I want you to take away about soy. The key is to use minimally processed forms. But that's true in everything, isn't it? Would we rather have the grape or the grapeseed oil? The grape, right? I mean, we know that it comes from it, but we want to try to use foods as close to the way they're grown as possible, okay? So when we eat edamame, that's what we're doing, right? Using it the way it's grown. And even tofu is a little minimally processed, okay? And you can continue, but you don't want it to be in a box, in a veggie burger with a whole bunch of other things that we can't read, because if we can't read it, we don't eat it, okay? So that's not how we want to eat soy if we're going to eat it, okay? We want to try to get it as close to the way that it's grown as possible. And the other key is in moderation. We are not going to eat edamame at every meal. We're just not going to do that, right? Because we need, first of all, we're only eating 2 meals, most of us. And so we want to eat it in moderation. Always, everything we want to do in moderation. That itself is a principle, temperance. We're temperate in all things. Some things we just don't do at all, and everything, even the good things, we do in moderation. Okay? Maybe there are some people that should consider limiting or avoiding soy, like if you have a soy allergy. Now, allergies, true allergies, are not when you vomit. That's a reaction, you know, or when you feel lightheaded or something after you eat it. True allergies are when you are itching, when you're having a rash, when you're having hives, or when your throat, maybe your tongue is swollen, you can't breathe, anaphylactic reaction, okay? Those are true allergies. All right, so maybe, not maybe, if you're having that, don't eat soy, okay? Now, your body can heal itself, and you can start eating things that you used to not be able to, but at least get to that point, right? Maybe if your hypothyroidism is totally out of control, or your breast cancer and the doctor has already told you don't do anything with estrogen, or if you have kidney stones, because it also is high in oxalic acid, but so is spinach, right? So there are times when you want to limit these things based on something that's going on in your body particularly, but it doesn't mean that food is bad. I guess that's what I really want you to know. And when we do eat it, we eat it for health, and we eat it in moderation and in minimally processed or unprocessed whole forms. Okay? All right. I have a challenge. I can't take any more questions, so sorry. All my time is done. Who in here, since we're talking about health, believes that they probably, who watches TV in here? Who watches TV? Nobody? Okay. All right. Out of you, how many of you feel like you know that you probably should watch a little less TV? Okay, you got your hands up? All right, I have a challenge for you, so I'm gonna ask you to come up. Quick. Come. You already raised your hand now. Come on. Quick. All right. I know, see. All right, I have a challenge for you. We're gonna help you out this week. Since you love to watch TV, I'm gonna ask you to do something for the group, and you're gonna report on it, okay? I'm gonna ask you to watch 3, not 1, 3 documentaries this week, okay? Not in addition to your TV time, in place of some of your TV time. All right, we got that? One is called What the Health. I want you to watch What the Health, okay? The second one, my all-time favorite, is Eating You Alive. I love this one because these are doctors. Like Dr. Kiana is a physician, okay? Eating You Alive, these are actual physicians who went to medical school who are doing this documentary. And then the last one is Forks Over Knives. Forks Over Knives, okay? Now, who gets the slogan about Forks Over Knives? Look at the picture. Fork over knife. I'd rather use a fork than a knife. I'd rather use a fork to improve my health than do surgery. Okay? And it's a scalpel. Yes, not a dinner knife. A scalpel, okay? So I want you to watch these 3 documentaries in place of some of your TV time this week. And I want you to come back and report to us, what is something in there that you heard that really impacted you this week? Can you all help with that? Okay, in your TV time. All right, thank you. Can we encourage them? Yay, thank you. All right, everybody, we're gonna stand. Stand, please, let's have a word of prayer. What are we cooking today? Does anybody know?
We have a splendid meal planned for you, but if you have a nut allergy, please let us know. Any nut allergy is what they asked me to mention that. No.
Anybody have a nut allergy in the room? Cashews? Yeah, we use a lot of cashews. Okay. All right, let's bow our heads for prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you so much. Thank you for this information. Father, thank you for these souls. They are trying, God. The fact that they are here on a Sunday evening, they could be at home resting, but they're here to learn. And Father, I pray that you will extend your hand and you will help them when they feel weak, that you will help them, Father, that they will continue to move forward, Lord. Keep moving forward. I thank you so much for everything that you've done, and bless us for the rest of the day in the name of Jesus. Amen. All right, let's move downstairs, please. Let's go to our food demo.
Well, let me tell you, that was a tough week for me to come in. But you know, you come in, the first thing you hear is God's will talk. You're like, what? Oh, shit. I mean, I'm getting better. So I'm just saying, birthday is today. He's 18. So we have to leave. But you go with me. So you have to leave early. No problem at all. No problem.
Mic check.
Yes, ma'am, you can.
you hear me? It is on? Okay. Right. And when you put everything into your blender, just add all of your ingredients, your onions, your garlic, the raw cashews, salt, it also calls for nutritional yeast, 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. That gives that your cheesy flavor. The salt was half a teaspoon, maybe half a teaspoon. Add your 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. Maybe half a teaspoon. You can start out with half a teaspoon. And your lemon juice, half or 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Start out with. And we're going to add, this is a little over a cup of vegetable broth. Alfredo sauce. Oh, your phone. This 1 medium onion, 1 to 2 cups of vegetable broth. I can't. I'm not at home. Maybe somebody. Okay, sure. I was about to say that. I also made one for those who have nut allergies, and it's cauliflower, onions, and garlic. Okay? Yes. Yeah. Alfredo. But you can add tomatoes. I made one last week. I made a sauce last week with some sun-dried tomatoes. So yeah, you can do. That's right, you can. Yes, ma'am. I roasted it. You roast the cauliflower, the onions, and the garlic. Roast it all together. Once it cools down, you can put it in your blender with some salt, I think it nutrition, and some lemon juice. There you go. Okay, we ready? Okay.